thought you were going to say something.
No, you said is there a new intro, and I just
Right. Oh,
I just
well,
froze in terror.
well, we start as we mean to go on. Hello, no one, and welcome to not the Shobocast anymore.
Nope.
It's Satellite 5, where there's 3 of us.
Yeah. Well, 4 including the Discord bot recording this conversation.
It's Satellite 5, difference in name and name only. Content is as awful as ever.
I don't know what
We're there for the SEO purpose.
I don't know what Harry's up to, but Paul just blatantly said he couldn't be asked, so
Yes.
that's why he's on it. So yeah, this is a new thing.
But it's the same as before.
It's the same stuff, same shit, different day.
My name is Daniel. I'm joined also by Daniel, and also by
Me, Cameron, hello.
There we go.
Me,
Oh,
Cameron.
that's so Me, Cameron. That's his full name.
I was gonna do like a what have we been up to thing. We used to do that every episode.
That's when we recorded weekly, though.
Yeah, so I mean, the biggest monumental occasion that happened was Worlds of Wonder.
Yeah.
We met up
talking to each other for 2.5 years. We met up
in a spoons.
In a spoons at Liverpool train station.
Beautiful. As it should be.
Yeah.
Are we going to do that again?
Oh, I think so.
Hope so.
It's near me, so
it was good though. I went twice. I went with you guys, and I went with my madre.
Mamma mia.
2 months after, just before it shut, because now it's moved up to Edinburgh. It was really good. I thought I was expecting a lot less. I thought it was going to be like, a PowerPoint on gases and stars and stuff, and then like a lock of Tom Baker's hair or something. That was it,
And instead, most of the science was just relegated to a wormhole diagram at the start, which none of us could understand because no one was stabbing a pencil through some paper.
Yeah, I didn't get it.
They needed someone there doing
this
live
degree
demos.
didn't help at all. Yeah, I didn't know what was going on.
And just a couple of videos spread out through it of Mark Gatiss doing a really bad Doctor Who cosplay.
Imagine if there was space.
It's basically that.
It's me, Mark Gatiss. Now imagine I said that, but I made some jokes as well. Can you edit in some jokes then?
I can do audience laughter. I can't do jokes.
Can you edit in some jokes?
Yeah, no, it was good, and I tell you what, it was. I mean, it was better the second time around because I didn't have you lot with me. But
classic.
It was also better because there were more kids just like visibly enjoying the show. Like there was this one kid who was over the moon to see Jodie Whittaker's costume at the end, and I was like, wow. Just like you, Dan. It's just like you.
I reached out and I touched the coat.
And security dragged him away.
But I got a button. They can't take that away from me.
Yeah, it's on eBay.
I remember I got a pair of socks there and I've now lost one of them.
The gift shop was so weird.
Oh God, it was.
It was even like... It wasn't... I actually bought stuff the second time around because when we first went in, we just kind of had a look and then left because we were quite hungry. But I had some magnets, pair of socks, like you said, and then I was really tempted to get some of those Battles in Time cards.
Yeah, there was just like a load of Worlds of Wonder branded stuff, and then all of it just seemed like the stuff that was left when Toys R Us went out of business.
They had a Dalek Sec swim bag. that was the highlight. I think it was about 10 quid. So
I think I have that bag somewhere, but I got it when I was a child when it came out new.
It was just stuff left over in the warehouse.
Brilliant.
But speaking of Daleks in 2022...
Oh, what a smooth transition.
Shall we go back to the beginning of the year and talk about...
It's even smoother when you point it out.
I was hoping you wouldn't. Should we go back to the start of the year and talk about Eve of the Daleks?
It feels weird that this was almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
This episode we're going to do a recap of what came. The 3 episodes we've had this year. My God, Flux was the year before.
Yeah, we never
Yeah.
actually spoke about Flux. We were
Good,
going
I
to,
don't want to.
and then it died a death. I
I think
remember
you
me and
spoke about the trailers.
me and Chinks did a trailer breakdown, which when I asked for a thumbnail, I asked, "Can you make it the most clickbaity thing ever?" Just like have a picture of that Roger Delgado's master pointing at one of the hooded figures.
Yeah.
Oh, that sort of shit.
I'd have called it something like Swarm and Azure added to Fortnite.
Yeah.
So I was at a friend's house when I think it was Once Upon Time was like showing. They hadn't seen any of Flux. I was like, fuck it, you're gonna watch this one. You're gonna watch this one episode. I need to see a human watch it with me, or otherwise I'll lose my mind. And in explaining what had happened, like the previous two episodes, I just realized how utter just fucking nonsense everything that had happened was. When I got to the sentence, and then they appeared in the Crimea.
Yeah.
They just appeared in the Crimea.
Yeah. So do we want to just like give our thoughts on Flux quickly?
Dog shit.
I thought it was fun. I actually really enjoyed it as a whole. I think it had more low points than high points, but I did actually enjoy it, and I would rewatch it probably next year.
It was dog shit, and still somehow one of the better things Chibnall has done.
Yeah, see, when we say it's like one of the best episodes of the year is in this, it's like it's not hard, is it?
No, I did enjoy Flux for what it is. I think having like longer story arcs in Doctor Who could be a really interesting thing if done better than Flux was.
That last sentence is doing a lot of heavy lifting.
What, just doing something better than Flux?
It could be interesting if done better.
I didn't.
Yeah.
There weren't any moments where or any episodes where I finished it and went, "Can't believe I've just wasted my time with that." There was nothing like.
I think there was
offended me. I
episode
was
3
like-
and episode 5.
Which one's 5? Is that Survivors?
Exactly. Which one is 5?
Is that the one where they use the most indestructible paint in the universe on the floor to write a message to the Doctor? Like, it's got
No, it
moments
wasn't
like
even
that.
to the Doctor. It was to
Oh, it's
Carvanista.
Calvinista, wasn't it? Sorry, yeah, my bad. Fetch your dog. Must have been an easy way of doing that. Anyway, yeah, I thought there wasn't anything that made me go like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, I think Series 11 had done that for me. That was the worst thing that Doctor Who could have been for me. Like, just dull. It really wasn't doing it for me. And then Series 12 had a few episodes that like actually kept my interest, and then Flux was just so fucking mental. And like, yeah, it did so much, and I couldn't take my eyes off the screen for a second, otherwise I wouldn't know what was going on. So it's like holding you hostage. Yeah,
It's holding you hostage.
it's holding you. It's every single element of it is the opposite of 62.
Yeah.
Like you
62.
can't. There's no such thing as background noise in this this series.
It was the opposite of Series 11 in that throughout 11 I fell asleep several times because of how dull it was.
Yeah. I fell asleep. The first episode I've ever fallen asleep to was the Saranga Conundrum.
Oh, fuck me. And then throughout Flux, I couldn't fall asleep.
No, because you wouldn't know what was going on.
Yeah. My eyes were held hostage by the screen.
Yeah. And I had, for the first time ever, I think I had subtitles on every single week because the music was so loud. And like people criticize like Series 2 and 3 for having loud, dodgy mixing, but I don't think it comes close to what Series 13 had. Especially in War of the Sontarans, where you're like just trying to process what someone's saying, and all you've got is.
What was the first episode this year?
It was Eve of the Daleks, which begins straight after Flux, so the TARDIS is still rebuilding itself after the door appeared in the floor.
After something happened.
The Doctor, Yaz, and Dan land in a storage unit, like, in
A storage facility in Manchester.
Manchester,
it's supposed to be in Manchester, but it's filmed in Bristol.
Yeah.
I think.
Bristol and Cardiff.
Bristol in Cardiff, yes.
Of the three this year, I think this was the best one.
Yeah.
Again, like my thoughts on Flux, it had an interesting story premise of Groundhog Day, but with the Doctor and Daleks.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm surprised that hadn't been done before. Like,
yeah, it's a time travel show, and they've never really had a time loop.
We've never had we've had time loops. We've never had like the Daleks using a time loop to their advantage to do something.
Were they though?
I don't fucking remember.
I don't know. I was just guessing, to be honest. It was nearly 365 days ago, Cameron.
Because there is a bit where the Doctor says to the Daleks, "Oh, why are you doing this?" And it's just like, "This is not our doing."
Was it the TARDIS?
Oh, it was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Because the TARDIS was ill and had to go to a doctor's.
Oh.
Yes, it had that crack over the front panel that was clearly added in post because it didn't line up properly.
Yeah, it looks great in the photos, but yeah.
So we start with the creepy guy taking.
I think that's the issue.
Oh God!
Taking possessions of his ex-girlfriends to his storage unit and labeling them up and keeping them there forever.
And she ends up with them.
I forgot how much of a fucking creep he was.
That's the thing that I can't get behind. I think otherwise I'd have really enjoyed like the whole thing, but it's that idea, and then the idea that she gets with him at the end.
It was such a big storage unit he had as well.
Yeah,
everything was so far like spaced apart.
Everything
so big.
It was like my action figures over there. It was like very meticulously lined up, like a handbag, some shoes. Like who loses the stuff that he's stuff he's got is like.
That's why I don't think they've lost them.
I would have loved if just like one of the items on the shelf in the back of shot was just like a left leg or something.
3 fingers.
Like I have minor gripes with it. Like they could have kept it a bit more fresh. I know they gave the Daleks do like different guns this time.
They're referred to as executioner Daleks.
I know that the bronze Daleks are coming to an end soon, and apparently they're working on a new design. But I think this would have been a good chance to do a different color scheme at least.
Yeah.
You know, just do anything. There's no need for them to be Time War based anymore. So I'd have chucked in anything, really.
The bronze ones have had that time. They need to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they need to go.
Well, with the classic Daleks as well, they're all the same, like, design for the most part in, like, the different Doctor's eras, but they have the different colour schemes, so they look different.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is the 7th Doctor ones where you've got the 2 warring factions. They're just the same props, just different colours, and they look different for it.
Yeah.
I would like if they got rid of the... Like, even if it was just the same design, like, recoloured, I'd like for them to get rid of all the bolts they're covered in.
Yeah, the very obviously man-made elements.
Yeah. I can't even remember anything about... It was...
What do we think about our celebrity star?
Oh, she was trying her hardest. She was trying her hardest to make any of that dialogue sound vaguely human.
Yeah. I felt the same. I was really looking forward to her being in it, and
you just don't know, like,
underwhelmed.
It's like when Lee Mack was in it as well. You just don't know how to use like the comedic presence you have.
That was a real waste.
Well, Lee Mack as well is a quite good serious actor,
and a massive fan of Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Wow. Look at what they gave him.
But yeah, Aisling B does brilliantly in this. She tries her absolute hardest. But yeah, obviously it has been a year since I've watched it properly, and so it's just it doesn't make sense for some of the things that the characters do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, we're in a time loop. These people die at this time. Right, let's stop that. But obviously, once they've done one loop and changed things, it then that then becomes the standard loop. So the the creep, I forget the character's name and the actor's name, unfortunately. He normally dies first.
Nick is called. Because the Daleks say, I
Mhm.
am not Nick, and they're voiced by Nick Briggs, which is hee.
That's a bit of fun, isn't it?
So if he dies at, say, 5 to midnight, when they get into, like, the 4 minutes and 3 minutes, he should already be dead.
Yeah, fuck. It was.
I mean,
it was a creeping time loop, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which would actually be a really cool idea if anything else about it made sense.
Yeah, I think the legacy of this episode will be that Phasmin scene. That's the only thing people really remember.
Yeah. John Bishop just outing them both to each other.
And their failure to commit to anything. We'll get onto that later.
I mean, it's the fact that it's truly setting it up 2 episodes before the end of not even the end of the series, the end of the era.
Yeah.
Like, these characters are going away and never coming back, as far as we know. And this is when they're choosing to start a new arc and like pick up on threads that definitely not dropped for the last 3 series. It's just like, yeah. So, but it's not the worst offender of this.
No,
of this trilogy,
but I would never watch it again.
I think I would.
If I was doing a watch of all of them, I would, just for the completionist value.
Yeah, that's the only reason I would.
Next one, though.
Should we
talk about Legend of the Sea Devils?
Fuck me, Dad.
Before we go on to Legend of the Sea Devils, a score out of 10.
Okay.
Of 10?
For either of the Daleks.
So 10 is the best episode ever, Vincent and the Doctor type stuff. 0 is it should be lost, like the first Doctor's reign.
Okay. And then 5 for me is like nothing.
Completely indifferent, yeah.
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 So probably 5. I give it a 5.
A 5. I don't care.
On that scale, I'm gonna go with 6.
Too kind.
I think I do like. There's definitely stuff I like about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not in a rush to rewatch it.
If you would have asked me immediately afterwards, I would like said 3 or 4. But I know the worst is to come. Yeah. So I need to save the scale for the rest of it.
Like we were looking forward to seeing Sea Devils again, but it was even cooler that like it was our mate who helped do it. But everything else about the episode just doesn't do it for anyone.
No,
I've not seen a single good review of this story.
It's astoundingly shit.
I mean, we were laughing. We had a good time watching it, like to kind of take the piss out of it. I'm thinking mainly of that jump that the Sea Devil does onto the ship.
I don't even know where to start with this.
I think there is a decent Doctor Who historical in there somewhere.
I
think the way it's been pieced together and the way it's been, I guess directed, but the way it's just been cut is just baffling.
There is a thing with the editing, but I also think there's a problem with the plot. It seems like this was written as a different episode and then changed when the COVID restrictions and everything happened, and they decided to shorten the series to 6 episodes and then 3 specials.
Yeah, was this meant to be part of Flux?
Yeah, I think so. At the very start where they capture the Sea Devil, who's
There's
been
just a net.
trapped inside this statue. He gets out, and then I've watched it back so many times on YouTube to try and figure out what's going on, but he just ends up in a net.
Yeah.
And what does she think about that?
Oh, very good. So I'll get the actual plot up for this one because we didn't really bother with either of the Daleks. The Doctor, Yaz, and Dan travel to 19th century China, where a small coastal village is under threat from both the fearsome pirate queen Madame Ching and a monstrous force which she unwittingly unleashes.
Yeah, it's a big problem with it, or like it's the way Chibnall stuff is across the board written and shot and edited. Everything always feels so small.
You know what it's like? It's like there's a person writing it, someone else shooting it, and someone else editing it, and then they all swapped seats for no reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nothing quite lines up.
like, just looking at the trailer for the stuff that's coming up next, it's like, oh, this feels big. Like, even on the budget you're working with, this feels big, and it feels like there's something happening over there. It feels like it has scale.
The people
things
directing
don't.
each episode have spoken to each other and the writer. This feels like the editor, the director, and the writer didn't speak to each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's genuinely hard to watch. I did try and rewatch it like the next day because I was like, I'm sure, like we might have been in one of those moods where you don't really take stuff seriously and you kind of like, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, I'll give it a proper go again. And I couldn't last 15 minutes because I was like,
I think as well, knowing this was the second to last episode of Jodie's era.
This is the Waters of Mars of that era. You know?
Like,
this is your chance to really make them shine because it's the last proper adventure before the stakes set in for their death. Especially with this Doctor who doesn't know she's going to die in the next story. It's your chance to really
that comparison, just where we knew it was going to be the second last episode, Waters of Mars starts setting up a few bits about, or reintroducing things about, like, he will knock 4 times, I am the Time Lord victorious, that sort of thing. Then we have Day of the Doctor as Matt Smith's second last episode, and that, like, reintroduces the bit about Trenzalore at the end, just to have you remember, oh yeah, that's a thing. And because it also introduces the War Doctor, if you, like, remember the show, you then realise, hang on, yeah, this is also the last regeneration in the cycle. What are we going to do from here? Then in Capaldi's, it's the one with the Cybermen and the Master.
Yeah, like
one of his peaks. That's it.
One of the best things, like not Chibnall, goddamn
Moffat.
Moffat and Capaldi have ever done is those 2 episodes.
Yeah. Like the Doctor Falls as well, where he knows he's dying, and the finish of the episode is him going to regenerate after refusing to do so for like a week and a half. There's a few plot points that really should start coming back, or like we thought should be coming back, like the Timeless Child and things like that.
Oh, don't worry, they'll come back next time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff will be wrapped up, put a neat little bow. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, very satisfying end to that one.
Yeah.
Oh, don't you worry.
I was expecting there to be more of a things starting to go towards their final point.
To be fair,
it seemed like it was setting up more stuff to be finished off in another series.
To be fair to them, how would you even fucking begin to set up anything that happens in the next episode?
These last few episodes are a true celebration of that era because they... Oh god, it's nice saying that era and not this era. We're away from that now.
We put it in a little box and we've thrown it in a bin.
Into the toilet. Yeah, there's a nice sort of greatest hits that happens throughout these 3 episodes of like all of the weird problems that the era's had through like each episode just pops up. So like in this one, there's like the Doctor complimenting Dan, or I can't remember if she acts like it's a good thing or she just doesn't react at all to the fact that he like slaughters several Sea Devils with like one sweep of a sword.
Oh, Yaz and Dan do that.
They both do it.
Yeah,
wow.
They get given swords and it's like, don't let the sword touch your skin. Just advice for life.
Never let
any swords, even if they are space laser swords, touch your skin. They hurt if you get stabbed by sharp blades. I know, I stabbed myself in the leg recently.
Don't let them touch your skin. Oh, Chibnall, baby. Do you know what Show Don't Tell is?
That is...
No, he doesn't.
I think
they're throwing them overboard. That's another one. That happens and we go, yeah, we can see that.
Do you know what these scripts remind me of? They remind me of Big Finish scripts.
Mm-hmm.
Where you have to say what's happening because it's audio.
Yes, that was a thing. That you know the scene in Pyramid at the End of the World, where Nardole is explaining out loud for the benefit of the 12th Doctor, who no one knows is blind still.
Yeah,
saying like, "Oh look, an entrance approximately 50 feet away." Like that. That's the dialogue.
It's like that, but with none of the character behind. Saying it's happening
with no reason. So a lot of like Yaz especially over all of the runners, like the stuff she says most of the time is stuff that doesn't need to be said. So yeah, that's what I noticed about these 3 specials in particular, and especially in Power of the Doctor. There's a lot of stuff that's been a recurring problem.
This is probably one for you to ask your girlfriend, Dan.
Oh.
So you said she's watched part of Legend of the Sea Devils, and has she also watched Power of the Doctor?
Yes, we watched Power of the Doctor go out.
Ask her what Yaz's job is before she joined the Doctor.
Okay, yeah, no, she could not answer that. Even I couldn't answer that for a second until I remembered that it's only in like the first story, and then does she say it in? There is one episode where she says
she says she's got weapons training.
She says that. There's another one where she just randomly says PC Yaz Khan.
Whatever,
police. I think that was in Flux.
Hallam Police.
Yeah. And whoever she's saying it to will have no idea what she's talking about.
Is it did she say it to Calvinista?
I think so.
Yeah.
That rings.
No, it's either to Calvinista or the guy with the tunnels, I think.
I'd noticed how strange that stuff was when like Series 12 was going out, and I went back and watched like some Donna and 10 stuff. The amount of times that the fact that Donna was a temp is critical to the plot. It's almost every episode.
Yeah. Like that's how they defeat the Daleks. It's how they find the center of the Doctor's daughter.
Yeah, it's
because she realizes it's a dating system.
Yeah, she goes around the office in the Atmos factory. She finds out about the sick days.
Yeah. Whereas if we do that with Yaz being a police officer,
which is a job you would assume has much more transferable skills.
Yeah.
Than working in an office.
I think the only thing it's given her is like a clear sense of right and wrong. I'd argue that Yaz has probably got more of a sense of what's right and wrong than the Doctor has.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't use that. You could at least use that to ground her and call the Doctor out when she's not doing the right thing or whatever. But instead they don't. She just goes with it, and she's like, "Yeah, she's the greatest woman I've ever met." It's like, what is this?
But why?
Yeah. No more thoughts on Legend of the Sea Devils. I think lots of stuff doesn't work.
It's just like ugly to look at. It's so grey. Like it's all. Camera's gone. Camera's off.
Camera's gone. It's alright.
Uru.
Right, now the proper podcast can start.
Yeah.
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 Here's why Lego sucks.
What's it with the Scouts?
Here's why Scouts suck.
Well, same again with Eve of the Daleks. 0 to 10.
3 or 4, probably.
2.
Ooh.
The Sea Devils look nice. Some of the CG actually looks pretty cool, especially the shot of not the Merker heading towards the pirate ship. I remember seeing that in the trailer and thinking that was really cool. Everything else, though, I could do without.
You saying not the Merker, that is a thing that Chibnall does where it's like, so, I've got this monster. They do this thing. They look like this. They look almost exactly like a classic Who monster. Should I just use that classic Who monster? No, I'll make a new one.
I think there was a theory that the one that appears in Warriors of the Deep was going to just be a baby one. And that's how they would explain how different they look. But they just don't... Like, that's his... I'm sure that's, like, his era, isn't it? Like, he loves that run. Like, why would you not...
Chibnall is the one who wrote the Silurian episodes as well for Moffat.
Yeah.
Hungry Earth and things.
I actually enjoy that two-part. I know it's a bit predictable and a bit,
It's a little derivative of, like, the first Silurians episode.
Yes. The Power of the Doctor, the 23rd of October 2022.
Of course, we didn't know
it was called that until, like, 2 weeks beforehand.
It's the 14th of September.
Yeah, it took ages for us to get a title, didn't it? We were all like...
Even now, fucking why?
It feels weird calling it Power of the Doctor now, because it's just the centenary.
Why? I don't get why they took so long to announce this title, which is, as far as I can tell, meaningless.
It's not a great title.
Is it meant? It's meant to be play on Power of the Daleks.
Well, that's the thing. Like, it's so similar to the Power of the Daleks. Why would you?
What does it mean?
There must be some better titles out there for this.
Yeah.
What is it referring to?
The Power of the Doctor, which is, of
Don't
course,
just
The
say it
Power of
back to
Love
me.
by Huey Lewis and the News. That is their power.
You don't need money, and to be honest, you don't need fame.
You don't need a credit card to ride
I've actually got a credit card. Yeah, so I'm not sure if I could ride this train on.
The train's cancelled anyway, so. Speaking of trains, especially ones flying in space with people in orange suits on top of the roof.
Oh, smooth transition.
Again, it's smooth when you don't point it out, Dan.
I refuse to let any smooth transition go unpointed out.
You are a smooth transition criminal.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, train.
Orange jump.
Stuff happens on a train.
A child that was. They definitely did that to make us believe it was the timeless child.
Yeah.
Cunts.
I've been trying not.
We were all thinking that, weren't we? Like the moment.
Like, okay. They're going straight into it.
We're gonna pick it up here, and it's gonna get resolved a bit.
You've got 87 minutes to resolve bullshit you've thought of. Chibnall.
Plenty of time.
Like,
do that.
Fine. I didn't want you to do it, but if you're gonna do it, tell me what you've done. Like, what is it? What are you doing? What ideas did you have? The answer was none, as it turns out.
No.
Yeah.
I'll pull up.
I'm so furious. I'm so furious at the episode that it didn't resolve the timeless child stuff or the fugitive doctor stuff, but it also had the fucking gall to be like, oh, a weird kid in a box. Is that the timeless child? No, no, it's not. It's a whale. And then like, oh, but the fugitive doctor's here.
Nope.
And then we're gonna explain what they are. Oh no, it's a hologram. Go fuck yourself.
It's a hologram. We're just never going to find out why her TARDIS was a police box, are we?
No.
Or who she was, or what she did, or where the timeless child came from.
So, what are your thoughts? The Dans, I'll ask this. What are your thoughts on Dan just fucking off at the start?
He just wanders off, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Just wanders off.
Because his visor gets.
Yeah, he almost dies.
And he's like, whoa.
Whoa, I've never almost died before.
Take some of those for tonight.
I've done all these adventures with Doctor. I've never almost died.
Yeah, this is the first time it's happened. I gotta slow down. Yeah.
It was the same with. It's the same with Yaz at the end. It was the same with. I've forgotten the names.
Ryan
and Graham.
Diane and Ryan.
They're just like, we're off. Hooroo.
Well, no, Ryan is like, well, I'm off. I don't want to do this anymore. And Graham's just like, travel in space and time. Quality time with the grandson.
Mm-hmm.
Go and see all of these things I could ever want to see.
Even then,
shitbag.
When he starts like calling him granddad and stuff, and you think, oh, their relationship started to heal, I could see him like moving away together from the TARDIS team because they want to get closer or whatever. And then in one of the episodes, Ryan's like, "You're so weird, Graham." And it's like, well, why are you being a dick to him? No, I never liked that.
Well, it's like the only other companion I can think of who just won was Mark. But at least she had a fucking reason.
And she came back anyway. They brought her back. They couldn't resist.
They brought her back.
Like,
but she
one more, and it was absolute hell. She was like submerged in a pit of shit and nearly died.
Mm-hmm.
Freezing cold. And she was like, I'll go home now. This ain't for me again.
But yeah, but like, at least she went, and actually, here's why I'm wondering. At least she had they were all just like, oh, the news is on soon.
Like, Dan doesn't even have a house to go back to.
Amy and Rory. Remember when he leaves Amy and Rory and there's his dream car, dream house, everything set for life. Dan, she's like, sorry about your house still.
Oh, right.
It's all right. I'll just stay.
No, the doctor doesn't even say anything. It's Yaz who says sorry about your house.
Oh wow!
Fucking hell.
The doctor just stares forlornly out at the TARDIS and then closes the door on them.
Oh, someone's wandering off again.
Yeah, she's watching a hologram of a Dalek, isn't she? Because the Daleks say that they need to team up.
They introduce the only good Dalek again.
Yes, again. Again.
Yes.
Because the Daleks were in this, weren't they?
Yeah.
Why?
We'll get onto that later.
Will we? Let's get onto it now.
Well, no, because I was going to talk about the stolen paintings.
And all the fucking dramatic music that plays over it, you meant to be like, oh my god, what's happened here? And it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in human eye.
Painting's going missing and Ace is investigating it, right?
Yes.
And a quick question, why do the paintings missing?
Because they suddenly have Rasputin's face on.
So they've taken them away, I guess. Because they don't want to freak anyone out. But if the paintings always look like that, no one would be freaked out.
Yeah, because that's what those paintings always look like.
Because that's how time works. Oh well.
When is the master as well? Like, are there two masters in this episode?
I guess
no. There's just the one.
No, there's the one in. No, there's the one. There's the one
Rasputin,
in the nice costume as a university lecturer, isn't there?
Yeah.
And then there's Rasputin as well.
I just thought he put the fake beard on.
What, and he's bouncing between?
Yeah, so he's in 1917. And then he's also... And that is one part of his timeline where he's setting everything up. And then he's in the current day as the university lecturer going, "Ooh, look, aren't I evil?"
So if the modern day stuff is happening second for him, he's seen the Doctor beat him. Because he was Rasputin when the Doctor dies, wasn't it?
Up until when the Cybermen invade unit, that's happened, then he goes and does this bit, and then when he's doing the Dalek Cyberman master plan, that is then after he's done the bit in unit headquarters and he's just got a fake beard on, is how I saw it.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a lot of layers, though, and that's not communicated to the audience. Surely not having a fake beard on at that moment.
I think it's only
the audience.
I think there's only one master here, unless of course there's not.
But like I think it must be two, right? And then he sees himself fail. And it's like, all right, let's go and set all that up then. Or sets it all up and sees himself fail. And it's like, all right, let's go and do the rest of it.
Pass on that one. I have no idea.
Well, now you said that, maybe I'm thinking they're two separate plans.
But what was the plan of the modern day one?
We'll find out when he returns.
Well, he had all the seismologists.
Yeah.
Why?
What happened to them? They just stay like that now?
Well, they're dead, aren't they?
Yeah.
The planets the two warring planets that he does to like gaslight the Doctor.
Oh yeah.
Because he pretends to be her. He has a TARDIS. He could have just done that himself.
Yeah.
Without body swapping or anything. But he does that, and then are those two planets just going to wipe each other out, or does that stop?
Honestly, I'm amazed there was two planets left, considering the universe was destroyed in the last series and never reset.
Yeah.
No, it was reset, but it's in like one line right before it
was
happens.
It?
Yeah.
No, because they set up that it can be reset, but they never go back to that. Like they said, like Swarm and Azor are like, I will destroy it, and then we'll reset it, and we'll destroy it again. Okay, yeah, they're setting up how they'll save the day, but they never revisit.
I think them saying that that's what they'll do is you're just supposed to go, oh, okay, that's what happened.
Well, that's fucking stupid.
So it got destroyed and rebuilt for some reason, and
off screen.
Then just before they destroyed it again. I think something like that. Ask Paul; he's an expert
at making up. He's an expert at making up things that happened off screen.
Yeah. So there's the plans of the Master as Rasputin to steal the Doctor's body and something with seismologists. And we get the Daleks and the Cybermen together again.
For what reason?
To look at each other awkwardly while the Master does a dance. I enjoyed that shot.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that shot. I really enjoyed that shot.
I enjoyed it in the strange fever. Like
it's enjoyable.
I was in
just
that
watching
moment.
And you think, oh, he's dressed as Rasputin. Wouldn't it be funny for Boney M to start playing? And it's like, oh, he's playing Boney M. Oh, he's fucking dancing.
You knew they would do that the moment that it was revealed to be him.
I'd argue that's the only reason he was Rasputin.
Yeah. They wanted to put that song has been trending. They wanted to put it in. Yeah, because the Master in Series 3 plays Voodoo Child.
Mm-hmm.
And a bit of Scissor Sisters.
Yeah, it's Scissor Sisters, at least.
So it's like, oh, the Master does songs. Let's do a song. What's a trendy song at the moment? That Rasputin's all over TikTok.
The Scissor Sisters wasn't even a trendy song, though. It became famous because it was in Doctor Who. I Can't Decide.
Well, I Can't Decide, yeah. Because they're the one that's like, don't feel like dancing. That was like their main.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Scissor Sisters cast.
Yeah, but we get the Cybermen and the Master and the Daleks all in the same episode, and they've not all been in the same episode since the 5 Doctors. I've not got there yet. Yet we have the return of Ashad as well, which it said the Master has cloned him after shrinking him down to the size of
I'm so glad I cloned you.
It's not just him. It's a like a Russian doll, isn't it? With like
it's full of
somehow it's like big on the
a Russian doll full of Cybermen and Ashad
and himself. That was ridiculous. He comes out of himself, literally.
Focus him.
Since 2005, when Doctor Who returned, we have had at least 2 vessels that could be used to sneak the Cybermen into a building. You've got the Genesis Ark, which was designed by Time Lords, and I'm sure the Time Lords would have designed a Cyberman-shaped one instead of a Dalek-shaped one. And you've got the Passenger, which featured in Flux.
And was just 3 episodes ago.
Why don't we just talk about the stuff we like? And I'll go first, because I'm feeling Dan has nothing to say. I like the fact that this episode was here and at the end of it there would be no more was kind of the gift for me. So like whatever the content of that episode was, I was down.
Are you aware of the phrase damning praise?
Eh? I didn't hear that, you cut out.
Are you aware of the concept of damning with feigned praise?
Yeah. No, there is stuff I liked though.
I liked the fact that we had returning companions and they were doing something.
Yeah, okay, so that was one of my big worries going into it was like this could do a lot of damage with how much stuff it's bringing back. It could do a real like last time we had a proper pull was like the first Doctor Twice Upon a Time, and look how that went.
Yeah.
I really wasn't a fan of that, so I was worried like if the rumors of like returning Doctors were true. And obviously we knew the companions were coming back. We didn't know quite so many would pop up, but I was really worried. Like we're gonna get Ace, and we're not, or we're gonna get Tegan. We're not gonna mention the fact that she's met the Master and the Daleks and the Cybermen, or like Adric. I was so worried we weren't gonna even get a crumb of and it was just they were just gonna be there.
It's like they're there, and then I was half expecting them to be there, and it's like, "Hello, Doctor," and then they're just dead, and they're just introduced to be killed off, like Chibnall does quite a bit.
Oh so no, that wouldn't happen because they're not gay, are they? He wouldn't.
Well, we'd have to confirm that they were all queer, and then 5 minutes later,
yeah.
I think that a lot of the nostalgia stuff is what works for me because, as I've said, I'm simple, and like I could watch. Like the Guardians of the if they just showed the Guardians of the Edge scene on its own, nothing before, nothing after, and the normal service resumed on BBC One, I'd be like, yeah, great. I was really happy to see them again.
Yeah, I think I really would have enjoyed that scene more. If it was the context was explained in any way at all.
Sure, I feel like we'd all be a bit more emotional if we cared about like the stakes and
you have to wonder why it's those Doctors as well, because they say
they're the ones they could get.
I know that's why, but in the show it's saying that these are the versions that didn't pass on, as it were. So these are the ones that still want to be there doing adventures and being the Doctor, which for the first Doctor immediately that undoes everything Capaldi and the 12th Doctor did with the first Doctor in Twice Upon a Time.
Yeah.
which was to get him to accept regeneration and to move on.
I think that's a load of rubbish. The Eighth Doctor chose to change.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So,
like, you could say the fifth and sixth Doctor didn't exactly choose the manner of their parting.
yeah, same with
Seventh
Seven. He
Doctor
just
as well.
got shot up.
And
I think it was just a case of like these people are available, and he literally didn't have enough time to bring everyone back and chase up Eccleston and chase up Matt Smith, and I think that the time to do those kind of things, if you were going to do it, would be the following year for the bigger celebration of the show. So I wouldn't be surprised.
I really didn't like the idea that there was an afterlife for different regenerations.
Well, do you know about Time Worm?
Time Worm?
So after the cancellation of the show, through the 90s, there were the books by Virgin New Adventures, they're called.
Yeah.
And one of them is called Revelations Time Worm. There's absolutely loads of these things, and they're all really weird. But Time Worm specifically talks about, I think it's Ace goes into the Doctor's mind, and she meets these past incarnations, like in Guardians of the Edge scene, but they've all got different roles, like the librarian, the scientist, the whatever.
The drone, the Supreme.
Yeah, the Eternal. I think this was like mainly a pull from that, but I could see them using that more in the 60th.
I think it's more the emphasis on it being an afterlife. I feel like it kind of undermines the idea of this being one person.
It's nice to get Paul McGann though back. Well,
it was nice to have Paul. It was nice to have Paul.
This is the first time he has appeared on the main show.
Yeah.
Nice to also have David Bradley here as a First Doctor replacement again.
Yeah, so I mean, it's people who say that he's uncanny and he's just like Billy Hartnell. I mean, that's just not true.
It's not true, but
he is very different. But he's not trying to do an impression. He's different in the same way Richard Hurndall's different.
Yeah,
and I enjoy that version of him as well.
He's close enough for me.
Yeah.
Old man. Tick.
Because no one's saying that he is William Hartnell. He's the First Doctor, which is different. So it works.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I love the way it was executed. With her, I know they reused a shot from War of the Sontarans of like her eye and her hair, because her hair's like wavy.
Yeah.
That was a bit weird. But then like it cuts to a wide, and you just see someone sat on the rock, and it's like, huh. And then you pan up, and you see his like thumbs on his lapels. It's like, there he is. So that was really cool. Like all of that stuff just worked for me. It was always going to work for me. I have no problems with the way they did that. I can understand where you're coming from.
Behind the scenes bit from that bit though, because they didn't have Paul McGann on set that day.
Or Davison.
Yeah, so it was Sophie Aldred who I know did Paul McGann's lines. I don't know if she did Davison's as well.
Huh.
Yeah, she stood in, didn't she?
She stood in, so I want to see that take of it, where it's just like, Doctor, Ace, Doctor.
I just wish that they'd somehow found a way to have Perry and Six. Because out of all of those, like, the classic Doctors and Companion duos that we could have had, those two are my favourites. So, personally, I would have loved that if we got those.
And we get, like, I watched this, and my mum was sat next to me when I was watching it, and she grew up watching the Fourth and Fifth Doctor, and like the Fifth Doctor is her Doctor.
Yeah.
And like she loved the character of Adric and loved Matthew Waterhouse a bit as well. And so when obviously it's like, oh yeah, there's loads of Cybermen here. What am I thinking? Adric, and it's my mum's then just there going, no, Adric, and it's sweet.
Yeah, it's mental that like there can be a callback like that. You know, and it means something. One last thing that I actually really did enjoy was probably Jodie's farewell.
Yeah.
Like the location of the regen and the way it happens.
Yeah.
Apparently, while they were sorting that last part out, they thought that the show was going to go on hiatus. Like, didn't have a planned out future. So you can see where it cuts to David Tennant's shot, and stuff's a little bit different because I think initially it was just going to pan out on her regenerating and then cut to credits. and that was going to be it for a bit. I can see that happening because if you asked me before the whole RTD return news came out, what was going to happen after Series 13, I think we could have all said it was probably ever going to have a rest for a bit. I kind of like that is it a Quarunx? Is that what it's called?
The Quarunx, the weird star child.
Yeah, that is what kills her. Like the energy from that kills her.
Yeah.
And not in like a self-sacrifice way. It's literally just the master just goes, "Fuck you," and does it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that. That's like because I'm kind of done with like the long drawn out sacrificial stuff. So it was nice that I guess he was the one to do it to end the Doctor's life, and I like that it's not clear what happens to him now. Yeah. And it never should be with the Master.
It was really nice to see Ian again, just because there aren't that many First Doctor companions left that would have been like available to be in this time period, because obviously Susan's in the future.
This episode gave me metaphorically a nosebleed. I think we've talked enough now about things of this shit. I would very much like to not have to just every time you're watching Doctor Who, you're like, oh, what's gonna happen now? We've talked for like an hour and 15.
Yeah.
I think we should talk about the future of the show.
Pretty good.
It looks pretty good. Yes. I'm very excited to be excited for Doctor Who again. But we've got 3 episodes and then the Christmas special.
Yeah. Which is Gatwa's first one.
They're filming that at the moment, if the photos are seen correct, because there's people stood around in Christmas hats and stuff.
Yeah, they're filming that one, and I think Russell said he's writing the one for 2024, like right now.
Yes, yeah. Most of the scripts for Series 4.
Yeah, it would have been a long time coming as well.
Yeah,
like the guy must have been working on this. Like, I'm not saying like he sat, ever since 2010 he sat down and written, but I think he's definitely over the years he's gone, that'd be a cool idea, and he's made a little note because like he's still been doing Big Finish, like that Mind of the Hodiak. He came back for that. All the lockdown stuff he did.
The lockdown stuff is what led to him returning.
Yeah, there you go. I saw a meme of like the dominoes going down, where someone's like placing the first tiny domino and they just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
And it says like someone eating a bat in late 2019, and then it just goes to like the new future of Doctor Who.
I feel like the toy maker, if he is actually the toy maker, Neil Patrick Harris, is going to appear in all 3 episodes.
In sort of like that. Sure.
He's going to be the main villain of the 3rd one, but it'll have like appearances in the first, in 1 and 2, as sort of like that missy bit of like, oh, did that nasty man throw you out off the hot air balloon sort of thing, where someone will come and see him at the end of an episode, like to just tie a bit in, like that shot of someone walking into the shop in the rain, I think is from the 1st or 2nd one, and it's not connected to the main story in a way we think. It's just like
the way the trailer's been put together, I think there's certain shots that have been put side by side to make you think you know what's happening. But I could very easily see like you say, maybe Beep is secretly, I can't believe I'm saying these words out loud, Beep the Meep is secretly working for the Celestial Toymaker. And that is a thing that could happen next year.
What a sentence.
Yeah. I think that
do you think they'll say if this Toymaker is a Time Lord or not to explain his different appearance?
Yeah.
Because that's something I've seen on Reddit and Twitter and stuff, is the Toymaker is actually a Time Lord.
Maybe it's not the Toymaker.
Maybe.
I mean, pretty sure it is.
How dare you?
Imagine if it wasn't, though. And like the toy shop was just a reference or something. It's actually like the meddling monk.
It's weird because, oh my god, if it was...
I can see Russell doing that, though, in Series 14 or something. It's just bringing back the monk.
Bring back the fucking monk. Bring back the monk.
Oh.
I can also see him possibly doing, like, Valyard and the war master being the actual master, that sort of stuff. I can see Russell just seeing all of these fan theories on Reddit and Twitter and stuff and just going, fuck it. Why not? From his fucking
it's really hard to tell, especially
Wales.
not knowing, like, because I think the trailer is made up mostly of episode 1 and a little bit of episode 3 stuff.
Yeah.
Like you say, maybe there's a couple of shots like that one in the rain where it doesn't seem to be taking place. I mean, it could be anywhere. But I think episode 2 will be like very off-world. It will be very. I mean, why else would they be filming indoors? And I mean, they've filmed everything they need to. So
yeah, I think the only thing they'd have left to film is like if they wanted anything with Shooty in there.
Yeah.
Or like to add Millie Gibson's character in is just like she looks up to the sky as a rocket flies over or something, just like oh. Like those bits from Love and Monsters where Danny Blue just looks up and it's just a shot from Aliens of London. Whilst he's just stood on a fucking car park in Cardiff.
That is good though.
Yeah.
And then we got Shooty at Christmas.
Yes.
Christmas specials are back.
What do you think of the costume? Because that's just been.
I really, really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I think it needs a hat.
I'd love to see him in a hat.
The main problem I have with I mean, his outfit will probably change loads because it's Shooty, but my main problem, I guess, is he looks a bit too much like a model.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, and I mean, we've had. Then again, Peter Capaldi, his costume, he decided that was going to be really simple, so that kids could mimic it for cheap, and then he went and wore 500 quid shoes and coats that were an arm and a leg.
Well, I mean, just because the individual items are expensive.
The specific stuff. But Shooty's coat, you can't copy that. That is so unique.
I'll just wait until some company gets the license to manufacture them and sell them for 50 quid on Amazon.
Yeah. Yeah, should we start to wrap this up?
Yes. Let me get some ribbon and some sellotape.
Oh, you are a silly little boy, aren't you? Have you changed the Twitter account?
Yes. Let me remember what the actual word is.
Oh, I'm locked out.
Oh, well.
At Satellite5
Twit. I imagine we've still got an email, but it's a different name.
Oh yeah, no. I think it's contactsatellite5@gmail.com. I don't know whether that's a 5 as in the number or a 5 as in the word. Just do both.
Yeah, send them to
one
all
of them.
I'm pretty sure if you type in Shobocast.com, it still takes you to the YouTube channel.
Oh, you're still paying for that?
I think I'm either just about to pay for it again, or I've just paid for it. I can't remember.
Well, I think so many people will be dying to use that name now. I'm sure you can sell it on for a profit.
I'm sure I can.
And then you'll have to just buy satellite5.com or whatever.
Honestly, I feel that would be more expensive.
Probably.
Yeah.
Because it's actual words. Bear with while we sort out everything for this sort of relaunch, rebrand thing.
If we even do anything after this. Hopefully
I mean, there is a chance, given the way past episodes have gone, that this one here that we're recording might not even make it out. We don't know. We just don't know.
Well, my pizza's been ordered now, so
Ooh.
I'm going to go and sit downstairs.
What did you order?
I ordered a pizza.
Did you get the ice cream as well?
I didn't get ice cream.